You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal. Sitting next to me is Jeff.
Hey, Neal.
And Ken isn't here. He's polishing the bean in Millennium Park.
Yeah.
That sounds dirty. The bean or the jokes, either way.
Yes. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, it's great. I asked you not to do that opening, so thanks for doing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So that's Neal, or I'm Neal, I should say. That is Neal, but it is also me. And welcome to the show.
Neal's having an existential crisis over there.
I am me, and me is him. Yeah, it's a weird day.
I is we.
I ate half a hot dog and half a grilled cheese and couldn't be decisive enough to have one or the other, so it's just a weird day.
But on the same sandwich?
Yeah, exactly. I put it on the same sandwich like a Big Mac.
Oh, that sounds like you're taking the side that a hot dog is a sandwich, Matt, and we're not delving into that territory today.
Yes, that's for an entire bonus episode.
We'll leave that in 2017 where it belongs.
There you go. So today's a great day. We're really excited. We have some really cool guests that we'll get to. As I said, Ken is polishing the bean in Millennium Park, so he will not be here, but Matt is here. And I think it's going to be a fun day. And before we get started, Matt, you've actually, I know we talk about you working at a coffee company, but you've actually taken on another store. So you're managing two stores simultaneously right now.
Two stores. And they give you a nice $50 bonus for doing it, so it's all worth it.
There you go. And you don't get to see famous recording artist John Legend because you're at the wrong store when that happened.
That is correct. The person who worked my shift got to take a picture with John Legend, and I just got to see it. But it's like the same thing.
And then when he wrote a little note on the picture that said, "At least you saw all of me."
Yeah.
I thought it was
I asked
legendary.
them to save a little love for me, but they wouldn't. It was sad.
Exactly. Glad to have you here. We know how busy you've been, and hopefully you can take a little break. Jeff, are you doing well?
I'm doing well.
Good.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
No status
Jeff.
updates.
Now, I will tell Jeff, though, I've been watching the XFL, and the New York Guardians were playing the DC Defenders. It was a great game, but DC just completely obliterated the New York Guardians. And then the DC Defenders Twitter account took a clip from The Office where Michael is asking to go to get a New York slice.
Yeah,
but it's
that's
Sbarro. And so they put the New York Guardians logo on his head, right. And he's like, "I'm going to go get a New York slice," and Sbarro had a big L on it, like a loss, because they got beat so bad.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I thought you'd enjoy that.
How are the Enforcers doing?
The Enforcers, unfortunately, are just in our heart.
Cut this year?
No, they're just in our hearts and minds. They're not made men, as we say here in Chicago. But we have some great guests I would like to introduce. We'll start with our competitor. He's been on the show before. His son Henry is one of our biggest fans, under adult or non-adult.
Yeah,
non-adult fans.
What's the demographic age?
I go anyone under 15, I guess. I don't know. But Henry, if you're listening, you're awesome. And give your dad a high five. But that is Josh Head, and he's a brand new Universal champion on Patreon. So thank you very much for that support as well. How you doing, Josh?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Doing really well. What's been new in Austin?
Well, I guess since last time I talked to you, I got a new job. Well, I got let go from my old job. I got a new job, and it's great. I love it there. And just really turned my world around for being not depressed. So,
well, congratulations. We're glad to hear that you're
awesome.
Yeah, you're at a new job. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, we appreciate your support, obviously, on Patreon. You've always been super vocal in the crop and through email and a big supporter of the show. So we can't thank you enough for that. And you've been one of the handful, I believe, from the beginning. So thank you very much for always being in our corner.
Pretty close to the beginning, but yeah.
So we appreciate it. So you're going to be playing with Matt today, and we'll let you guys pick your team name. But we have a very special guest host today, and she's not only a United States champion on Patreon, but we love seeing her tweets on Twitter. She's always thrown out really great trivia questions, which is going to come in handy today for her being host. And that is Kylie Digges from Mesa, Arizona. How's it going, Kylie?
Going really great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the company that you run?
Yeah, so I am the owner of Brainwave Trivia. I started it a little more than a year ago, and I write quizzes for restaurant and bar owners who want to host a trivia game every week, but they don't really have time to put together questions. So it's somewhere in the middle between, someone running their whole own game and paying for like a hosting service to come in. So they just subscribe to Brainwave and they get a new quiz in their email inbox every week. I also host a weekly game and I play test my games there. So shout out to the regulars at the Handlebar Diner. And that's sort of where the idea came from. The chef owner of that place wanted to have a trivia week, but he was just, busy running a business. So he couldn't write his own quizzes, so I offered to do it, and that's sort of where the idea got started. I'm a copy editor by day at a university here in Arizona, and I just love writing trivia and making games for people to play. So I love you, I love your show so much because there's something to me really special about sitting around a table with friends and having some drinks and talking out questions, without just straight Googling answers. That sort of racking your brain I find really challenging and a fun thing to do. So that's how I got started, and I found you guys through Trivial Warfare, and I'm still working through your back catalog, and I'm really enjoying every episode. So I just love the format you guys do and the humor that you bring every week, and I'm super excited to be here.
Well, thank you very much. That's wonderful just to hear your story and what you're doing. So we have a lot of trivia hosts in the crop and that are listeners. So if you'd like to get in touch with Kylie, you can hit her up at Brainwave Trivia, and we'll get some contact info for you by the end of the episode. But yes, thank you very much for following the show and enjoying it. And of course, a hello to our friends over at Trivial Warfare for having us on a couple different times that led to Kylie finding us. But before we get started here, how about some team names? Jeff, how do you feel about half grilled cheese and hot dog?
Well, I feel pretty good about it. That's how you felt about it today, right?
I do, and we'll see how I feel about it later when my digestive system does its job. Josh and Matt, what are you guys thinking for a team name?
I was thinking we can make it really complicated and be half hot dog and grilled cheese, but I don't think that'd be confusing for everyone. I was thinking me being a robot, your last name being a head, we could be Robot Head.
Yeah, that works for me.
Love it. All right. So half grilled cheese and hot dog versus Robot Head. Let's throw it to the rules guy.
Such weird team names.
It is weird. Let's throw it to the rules guy and let's see him do his best Arizona accent in honor of Kylie.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah.
I don't know. Kylie, what do you think? How did it sound?
There's so many transplants here from Canada that it probably should have sounded more like that, but not bad.
All right. Well, not bad. We'll give you a pass today, rules guy. All right. Well, Darren. Kylie, we are ready to go. So whenever you'd like to start.
Great. All right. Your round 1, question 1 category is You Sunk My Battleship. The classic Milton Bradley version of the game Battleship has players place 5 ships of different sizes on their 10 by 10 grid. How many squares does the titular battleship occupy?
We're locked in.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Jeff is a board game master, I forget.
He might not have sunk my battleship, but he sunk my heart with that question.
Ooh.
You sunk my battleship. All right, so they go from, I believe, 2 to 5. And 5 is the carrier.
The aircraft carrier.
And I think the 4 is the destroyer.
I think it's 3.
You think 3 is battleship?
I think. I
would.
right.
That's what I wrote down right away.
That's what I did too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna lock in with 3.
All right, so I think they're right that the aircraft carrier is 5. I think there's like a little gunboat that's 2. I think both like the submarine and the destroyer are 3, and so we said 4 for the battleship.
The correct answer is 4.
Oh, nice. I haven't played it that often. I always see the kids on the box having a ton of fun, but
it does not look that fun, to be honest.
It
like
doesn't.
When you're playing.
Well, and there are strategies that are pretty effective you can implement to be better than most people at that game. So,
of course, you know that. How do you take the fun out of a board game? Well, I looked at all the strategies online
just
first.
Me.
As a small tween boy, Jeff had weekly meetings with a Russian spy agent to learn about aircraft carrier.
Well, that's like I stopped playing Connect 4 when I was a kid when I found out it was a solved game. So
I don't even know what that means, but we'll let
you and Rohan Rondo, right?
Kylie, you can go on to question 2 before Jeff gets into a hole about Battleship here.
Can do. Your category for question 2 is It's Greek to Me. Appearing in conjunction with letters of various alphabets in order to indicate changes in sounds during pronunciation, what is the term for a mark such as a tilde, accent grave, or umlaut? Jay Sherman is probably a fan of them.
Oh, okay.
We're locked in.
I thought it was going to be umlaut. I was so excited, and she said umlaut, and I was like, oh, all right.
I think I got it, Matt. Well, Jay Sherman was the critic, so
correct.
Yeah, that's what I would go with.
I think
it's like critic or critique, maybe, but
right.
A critical, I think, is actually maybe what it would be called. Yeah, critical, maybe.
That works for me. I could think about Jay Sherman is that I followed John Lovitz on the highway pretty recently.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard that episode.
So I could have asked him if I know this was coming, but
Mr. Fender Bender.
Oh wait, maybe it's actually is it a diacritical?
I have no idea. Let's go with that.
So you're locking in with diacritical?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought when you handed the piece of paper over, I thought you wrote diuretic. And I was like, why would that have anything to do with language?
No.
But what did you write down?
I wrote a diacritic or a diacritical mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the correct answer is a diacritic or a diacritical mark.
So, Matt, you've been trying, I'm on your team, by the way, but you've been trying to convince Jeff to reach out to get John Lovitz to do the rules reading.
That is correct. Be a cameo.
I think we have to. If you guys like that idea, just write in the comments and we'll think about it.
And then afterwards we could say, it stinks.
It stinks. You ready for question 3?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Okay, your category is math, but movies. So this is going to be a movie math problem. I'll give you some movies that have numbers in the title, and you just do the equation. So it's the number of miles that saw Kevin Costner and Kurt Russell dressed like Elvis, divided by Gerard Butler's Spartans, plus Keanu Reeves' Japanese Warriors.
Okay.
How many miles to Graceland?
It's either 2,000 or 3,000. I'm trying to remember now.
Well, 3,000 makes for much easier math.
Does it? 3,000 miles. I think it's 3,000.
Divided by 300, which would be 10. Plus
so
47.
Would be 57.
Which would be 57.
Yeah. I think it's 3,000.
That's the number that was in my head, but I didn't want to influence you because I don't know the films as well.
No, I'm pretty sure. What is getting in my head about 3,000? I think it's 3,000 miles to Graceland.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeff, you have the Spartans, 300, and then 47 Ronin.
Yep.
And I think I just couldn't remember if it was 3,000 miles to Graceland or 2,000. I think it's 3,000 miles to Graceland.
So 3,000 divided by 300 is 10, right?
Yep.
Plus 47 is 57?
Yes. So we'll lock in with that.
Yeah, we had the same reasoning behind ours and came up with 57 as well.
And that is points all around. It is 57.
All right.
Sometimes the numbers in movies confuse me just a little bit at different times because you have like Bernie Mac's Mr. 3000. I was thinking of Pretty Woman's original title, 3000. And I was like, am I thinking of the wrong thing because of that? But yeah.
Mr. 3000. No one's thought of that in a very long time.
You know what else no one's thought about is the Tom Selleck classic, Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball.
I used to love watching that movie. Anyway.
All right, question 4. Your category is all the married ladies. The term Seven Sisters, based on the Greek myth of the Pleiades, is used in many contexts. One of those is a group of 7 women's magazines about the domestic arts that hit their peak in the 70s and 80s. Only 3 of those 7 sisters are still physically published monthly. So if there's bonus points possible here, you can get 5 points each for naming those 3.
Do you want to just go with those 3 and we'll knock out?
Yeah,
okay.
I've got no good ideas on this, honestly.
All right, we'll start over here. We might be on a complete wrong track here, but Jeff and I were trying to recall the magazines that we read along our friends at the beauty shop when we go for our blowouts. But these could be right. I think they're still around. So we're going to lock in with Good Housekeeping, Reader's Digest, and Home and Garden.
Oh. Reader's Digest is one we did not have. We started with Good Housekeeping, Better Homes and Gardens, I believe is what we said. And then what was the third one?
Southern Living.
Okay, so there's some points being awarded. Good Housekeeping is one of them. And then I'm going to only give points for Better Homes and Gardens, not just Home and Gardens. And then the third one is Woman's Day. So I said defunct earlier. 2 of them are completely defunct. One of them is transitioning into like a quarterly specialty publication, and then the other one is digital only. So the other 4 were McCall's, Ladies' Home Journal, Red Book, and Family Circle, which just stopped publication a couple months ago. So question 5 is, you guys usually do the listener submitted question. I am pulling from a book called Could There Be Any More Trivia, which, shameless plug, is my book that I wrote about Friends trivia. That's available on Amazon. So this question comes from that book. So in a season 3 episode, what celebrity's name does Ross use to score a restaurant reservation? One strange thing, though, that celebrity ended up guest starring on the show several seasons later.
Oh boy, I'm not good with Friends at all.
I'm not either.
We have so many great listeners who are really good with Friends trivia.
That's really sad.
I know.
That's really sad, Neil.
I know. I know I'm a loner as well. I don't watch Friends. I don't have any friends.
So 95 is when it started. That was a freshman in college.
I think
And Brad Pitt was on there one time.
Yeah, and that would be like the height of Brad Pitt's fame, right? Around that time.
Yeah, I mean, other than his renaissance now,
right?
But
I think Brad Pitt's a good guess.
Yeah, I feel good about that one.
Okay, we're gonna lock in Brad Pitt.
We had a very similar conversation over here. We thought maybe Brad Pitt wouldn't have been. I mean, he would have been famous enough, but we thought he was earlier in the Friends run, and we threw out some other names, but. Not sure if it's because it was top of mind or not, but we just thought, Tom Selleck was on the show. We think he was like a dentist or something who dated Monica. So we said Tom Selleck.
Unfortunately, no points on this one. The answer is Winona Ryder.
Oh.
So there was a little hint in the clue there. One strange thing. She's now the star of Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. And she was name dropped to get a table early in season 3. And then she ended up playing Melissa, who was a sorority sister of Rachel's, who was secretly in love with her.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Okay. Question 6. The category is I Would Be Called Kylie Question. Baseball player Prince Fielder, poet William Wordsworth, and professional poker champ Chris Moneymaker are all examples of what term used to describe a person whose name is extremely suitable for their profession.
I have no idea. I've never heard this. I didn't know this was a term.
No, I mean, there's words for everything, but yeah, I have no idea. I was trying to think if there was anything in there that we could pull clues out of, but...
A name-a-nim? A name-a-nim? Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
I was recently writing a question about this, so that's where it came up.
Oh, were you, Matt? Way to brag about writing questions. It's like you have a podcast or something.
That's what Bat says when he's looked it up on his phone when he's off camera.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He's probably watching the All-Star game knowing Matt.
No, it's not till later.
Oh, okay.
But thank you. Yeah, we'll be doing that.
He's in LA, not in the future.
Yeah, right.
We discussed, it's kind of funny how, last names, this used to be almost everybody because your name would be what your profession was.
Yeah, Cooper, Miller, Baker.
Peter Porker.
Cooper is the one that I came up with. Yeah.
But I believe these are called aptronyms.
Wow. Yeah, we had no idea about this topic. It's a really cool question. And so we were trying to think of just any word that meant something about itself. And Jeff said maybe something with a nim. And then not the secret of the nim, but a nim. And then I just said maybe it's like a name-a-nim, like a name-a-nim. That's all we got.
So the correct answer is aptronym.
Yikes.
Nice job.
Very good.
Wow.
Very good.
I was due to get one eventually.
Nerd. Just kidding.
All right, question 7. Your category is uncool, bro. The film In and Out, in which an actor, upon winning his Oscar, thanks and unwittingly outs his gay high school drama teacher, is loosely based on an actual Oscar acceptance speech. What actor thanked his high school drama coach, Raleigh Farnsworth, in his speech by calling him one of the finest gay Americans he had ever known?
I wrote this question before.
I've heard this.
Yeah, no, I wrote it.
This is infuriating.
I can't even think of anybody who won a Tom Hanks, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, so Jeff and I were trying to go back and forth on this one, and we knew we had heard this fact before and maybe even tried writing a question about it. We couldn't remember. But I'm pretty sure, and it's funny that Josh pulled it out of thin air, I think it was for when he won the Oscar for Philadelphia. Tom Hanks was talking about his teacher.
You are both correct. It was the Philadelphia acceptance speech.
Wow.
So yeah, in the movie, the teacher is played by Kevin Kline and the actor is played by Matt Dillon. And so Kevin Kline's character is blindsided because he doesn't identify as gay. But in real life, Tom Hanks did call his teacher before the Oscars and asked his permission to name check him, and the teacher said yes.
Okay.
So a little drama for the movie version.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a little more drama.
Question 8, your category is a plague on just that one house. Though unicameral legislatures are fairly common in countries around the world, only one U.S. state opted for a single house as its governing body instead of the bicameral U.S. federal model of House and Senate. Name that state whose motto is equality before the law.
We are locked in.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you think this is Louisiana? Because they don't
have weird stuff, yeah.
Because they're not based on the English.
Yeah, they're Napoleonic.
So that was my first guess would be.
I'm good with that. I don't have anything better.
Louisiana.
Yeah, in a state which mathematically is not as flat as a pancake, we said Nebraska.
Correct answer is Nebraska.
Oh, wow.
Is there a Kansas? What's the one that people keep saying it's always flat as a pancake?
I don't know. When I was in Wisconsin once, we were at fireworks, and this group of drunk people came up, and they're like, "You from Illinois?" We're like, "Yeah." And you guys are flatlanders. So that's all I know. So I don't know about pancakes.
All right, question 9. Your category is I Want My MTV. In 2001, MTV was in charge of the Super Bowl halftime show for the first time. Previous incarnations of the show were produced by the likes of Disney and Radio City Music Hall, a little tamer. The show's theme was The Kings of Rock and Pop, and it featured what 2 groups as dual headliners?
We're locked in.
I think it was Aerosmith. Because they did a medley at the end, and Nelly was there, but I don't think he was a headliner. I think it's NSYNC because Neal got it right away.
Yeah, I would be good with Aerosmith and NSYNC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I tricked you by locking in early because it was actually the Backstreet. No, of course it wasn't. Who wants them? It was Aerosmith and NSYNC, I believe.
That's correct. NSYNC and Aerosmith. And they were joined by Nelly, Mary J. Blige, and Britney Spears.
What a show!
I was going to say Britney Spears was in there too. I thought, yeah.
That's a great one.
That was when Nelly wore a jersey that had the two jerseys sewn together, and I really wanted one after realizing it looked really stupid later. But at the time, really wanted one.
You still wear the Band-Aid on your face.
Yeah, with my headband every day.
But that's just from not putting on suntan lotion in California.
All right. The final question in the round, your category is He Shoots, He Scores. American composer John Colby is definitely not a household name, but you probably know his most famous work, which debuted in 1989. You've likely sung it more than once in your life, generally at moments like when your buddy sings a 3 or your kid slides in under the tag at second.
Man, I don't know. Jock Jams is not really one piece of music, I can't think of the song.
For me, it is. I listen to it all the way through every time.
What's the name of the song from Bring It On with the jazz hands? The bam, 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 bam. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
That's what it is. That was part of my mascot audition that I did at Iowa. It was.
Of course it was. Why wouldn't it be?
I have no idea. Let's just go Jock Jams. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of anything that makes sense here, but I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah, Jock Jams. We're locked in.
So we were kicking around a lot of what would apply to multiple sports, what would be late 80s, early 90s, and then it started to click that this is Sports Center, and I think it's the na-na-na.
And John Colby was the composer of da-na-na, da-na-na, the Sports Center theme. Nice job.
Great question. Great poll, too.
Good poll, Matt.
After the first round, it's a very tight game. It looks like those bonus points during the Seven Sisters questions really helped out here. So we have Team Half Grilled Cheese and Hot Dog with 65 and Team Robot Head with 70. So before we throw it over to Kylie for the swing round, both Kylie and Josh are Patreon supporters, which we very, very much appreciate. And we've had a great uptick in new Patreon members of, those of you that we've never met before, haven't had the pleasure of meeting, even through email. So thank you very much for everyone who's been joining recently and getting some great perks. But Jeff, what are some of the items people can get at the different tiers if they do sign up to support the show on Patreon?
Yep, you can get our Macho Man exclusive stickers, bonus episodes, autographed posters, character boxes, and then all the way up to our Triviality Loot Crate style box.
Awesome. And it's a lot of fun for us to fulfill those packages and send letters and posters and
record bonus episodes.
We have a lot of audio content that is untapped if you're not a Patreon supporter. But really, the most important thing for us is, to be completely honest, that anyone would care about us enough to help support the show. So that is awesome in and of itself. But thank you very much just for everyone for supporting the show, especially Kylie and Josh who are here. We really appreciate it, and it helps the show continue. So thank you. All right. So let's go to the swing round and see what Kylie has in store.
All right. Your category for the swing round is These Are Their Stories. Dun dun. So the police procedural has been a staple of network television for decades, and while their formulaic nature is sometimes criticized, it's also very comforting. Cops, special agents, detectives, they get handed a case, they gather the evidence, usually have a wisecrack or two, but the bad guy always gets caught in the end. So I'm going to give you the name of 10 of these intrepid crime fighters, and I want you, for 5 points each, to name the show on which they appear. So I'll give you the name of the fictional character. Number 1, Dr. Temperance Brennan. Number 2, Detective Lenny Briscoe. Number 3, Sergeant Lucy Bates. Number 4, Detective Andy Sipowicz. Number 5, Sergeant Joe Friday. Number 6, Detective Frank Pembleton. Number 7, Dr. Gil Grissom. Number 8, Senior Field Special Agent Sam Hanna. Number 9, Captain Olivia Benson. And number 10, Lieutenant Horatio Kane.
All right. We will mute and discuss. All right. All the answers are locked in. So let's throw it back to Kylie to go through the questions one more time, and we'll give our answers.
All right. Number 1, Dr. Temperance Brennan.
That would be Bones.
We also said Bones.
Emily Deschanel played Bones, correct.
All right.
Number 2, Detective Lenny Briscoe.
I believe this is on the classic Law and Order.
Ooh. Yeah, we thought it was something older. We just went with Hill Street Blues, just for random.
That's a good one, too.
It is Jerry Orbach playing Lenny Briscoe on Law and Order.
Yeah,
I used to have a Lenny Briscoe shirt.
Good old Jerry Orbach.
Had his face on it.
Did you really?
He is the best.
Yeah.
It's so nice that he learned a lesson, too, that Johnny taught him about not putting baby in the corner.
Number 3, Sergeant Lucy Bates.
This is one that we pretty much had no idea on, and just guessed a show that probably all our grandparents watched and said Blue Bloods.
We went a different direction, and we guessed Chicago PD.
So Lucy Bates was on Hill Street Blues. Played by Betty Thomas. She won an Emmy for it, and she went on to be a very successful film director.
We knew it had to be on here somewhere, Neil.
Yeah.
Number 4, Detective Andy Sipowicz.
NYPD Blue.
I remember as a young kid, it was a big deal that Dennis Franz showed his butt on TV, his naked butt, and it was all over TV. And I remember seeing it. I was like, this must be a moment I have to remember, and I've never forgotten it. So we put NYPD Blue.
So never forgotten it or scarred for life is, I think, what you probably mean. Yes, it's Dennis Franz playing Sipowicz on NYPD Blue. Number 5, Sergeant Joe Friday.
This is a real classic, Dragnet.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, we weren't sure. We just knew it sounded really old and classic, and we're like, oh, what's a Car 54? Where are you, Dragnet? And we settled on Dragnet.
Dragnet is correct. Played by Frank Webb.
Just the facts.
Number 6, Detective Frank Pembleton.
This one we weren't entirely sure, but we figured there might be a homicide, life on the streets in here with all the classic procedural, so we said homicide, life on the street.
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking it was something I had seen. I had given Homicide, Life in the Street a go a while back. I thought maybe this was possibly a character in The Wire that I'd forgotten about, so we guessed The Wire.
The correct answer on this one is Homicide, Life on the Street.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it, I remembered who it was.
Played by Andre Brower.
Yeah.
Number 7, Dr. Gil Grissom.
That would be original CSI.
Yep, that was the original CSI.
CSI is correct. Played by William Peterson. Number 8, Senior Field Special Agent Sam Hanna.
I believe this is original NCIS.
Yeah, we thought that's kind of an unusual title. So what's a kind of an unusual type of procedural, non-cops? And we guessed NCIS.
No points, unfortunately, on this one. You guys were close. This one is NCIS Los Angeles.
Oh.
And that's LL Cool J's character.
I was going to say, is that LL Cool J?
Ladies love Sam Hanna.
Number 9, Captain Olivia Benson.
This one's as close to a gimme as you're going to get, I guess, for us. SVU.
Not just the name of one of Taylor Swift's cats. We said SVU.
That's correct. Mariska Hargitay plays Olivia Benson on Law & Order SVU.
Her cat's named Olivia Benson?
Yeah, Detective Olivia Benson.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
And the last one, Lieutenant Horatio Kane.
Yeah!
I mean, someone had to do it.
CSI Miami.
That was a drive-by Miami style. Yeah! Yeah, I love that show. Yeah, CSI Miami.
Both are correct. David Caruso on CSI Miami.
So I binged that. I think it was right out of college, maybe. And I watched all of them on DVD when they came in the big box sets and whatnot. But what I loved is I picked up all of his acting tics, which are hilarious when you watch the show, like, because he's supposedly a tough guy or whatever. And so every time he talks to someone who he's at odds with, or if he's like, someone's like, you can't do that, Horatio, blah, blah, blah. And so if you ever watch, he like never looks anyone in the eye. He'll like look away down at the ground at like 4:00, and then he'll like kind of look his eyes up at them like really, really subtly. And then he always hits them with like a one-liner, but he never lets anyone respond, and he just turns and walks away. So he'd be like, your banana's rotten, and he'll just turn and walk away before you can even say, no, it's not,
They found the victim's head in the freezer of the convenience store. Guess the murderer was a cool customer.
Yeah, my favorite was there's a bunch of lasers and a dead body, and it was over a divorce settlement. He's like, divorce of the future.
They're so terrible.
They're so bad.
You just make up a dad joke on the spot, and it was probably a CSI intro.
Yes, it was. Okay, so we picked up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we're at 95. What are you guys at?
We picked up 40, and we're at 110.
All right, round 2, question 1. Your category is Going Back to the Well. George Michael had a huge hit on his hands when he cast 5 supermodels to lip sync his song Freedom 90 in the video that became an MTV staple. He employed the same tactic 2 years later for the video for Too Funky, this time casting 8 models, including what future Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition cover model and talk show host?
I can lock that in.
Okay.
Josh in with a vengeance.
Locking in the swimsuit model right away. Good call.
All right. So as I'm sure Josh knows from listening to the show, my mom got me this magazine every year. Still does. So I'm just going through it.
You still hide it under your bed?
I still hide it under my bed. Yeah. Shoot. There's someone. It might not be Tyra Banks. There's someone I'm thinking right now that it probably isn't. It's killing me. Oh man. All right. I don't think it's Tyra Banks, but let's just lock in Tyra. Let's booty tooch our way into the wrong answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as little Penny Hardaway used to say, it's Tyra Banks, fool.
And the correct answer is Tyra Banks. Bonus trivia on that one: the only model that appears in both of those videos is Linda Evangelista.
Ooh.
The other 7 models in the new video were not in the Freedom 90 video. Okay, question 2. Category: It's like a cow's opinion. With a goal of increasing educational access via the internet by providing free content to millions, Coursera, Khan Academy, and LinkedIn Learning are 3 examples of MOOCs, or MOOCs. What does MOOC stand for?
Yeah, we're kind of dancing around what this could stand for. We're thinking
that's some of it.
Maybe the O is online courses or mastering, or
I think online courses make sense, but
we're at a loss here. We're gonna have to tap. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think that we're right, but we came up with words for the letters that make somewhat sense, and we said multiple option online college.
So a couple words in there were correct. Team Robot Head was sort of on the right track. What I heard their discussion, they were talking about MMORPGs. So the first M in this one is massive. It is a massive open online course.
Huh.
Wow.
Question 3. Your category is: It was a team effort. When Heath Ledger died in January of 2008, he was in the middle of filming The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus with director Terry Gilliam. Not wanting to scrap the film or entirely recast the role, Gilliam created a conceit that Ledger's character Tony would physically transform inside the Imaginarium, and he called on 3 different actors to play different incarnations of Tony and complete the film. Name those 3 actors.
Oh, wow. All of them.
All right. So I'm just talking out loud here. So I'm almost positive Johnny Depp is one of them. And Colin Farrell is the other one. It's another British actor, and I know it. It's someone. I cannot think of his name right now. Oh
you know
my
anything
god!
He was in? Anything else?
Oh my god! He was the guy married to Sienna Miller, and I'm like losing it.
Jude Law?
Yes, it's Jude Law. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna lock in with. I was gonna. Okay, Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell, and Jude Law.
Well, we got Johnny Depp. I felt really good about that one. And then Josh said Jack Black, so we went with it. And then I said the person who can play anyone, Scarlett Johansson.
Neal, I'm sorry that question tortured you, but you did get there in the end. It was Colin Farrell, Jude Law, and Johnny Depp.
That was a real team
Oh,
effort.
good. Yes. I'm physically ill now, but good question.
You got there.
Holy crap. And you've never seen the film?
No, because Terry Gilliam, sometimes he just makes me angry, and especially lately, he's with his old man rants that he goes on.
You complain about
They're not
Brazil
good.
all the time.
So, I don't know. I'm just glad that he actually finished a movie. Sorry, it's just a film burn. He's fine. He's fine.
Okay, you guys ready for question 4?
Let's do it.
Your category is, well, that seems dangerous. Professor Philip Zimbardo was the researcher behind what infamous study investigating the psychological effects of power that placed college-age test subjects into roles as inmates and guards?
We're locked in.
Yeah. I just want to talk about it for a second. You said you're locked. Yeah.
Okay. It was Are we sure it's not the Stanford prison experiment? Isn't that?
Yeah, it's not that. It's Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, then you're right. It's the Stanford prison experiment. Yeah, my bad.
Okay, no problem. We got there.
Jeff?
Yep, we said the Stanford prison experiment.
Points to both teams. That is correct.
Much like this, that experiment, Neal, we're going to cut our show off early when it turns out we're all just monsters.
The Triviality prison experiment. You have to go into a jail cell and listen to Triviality on loop for
right
a week.
It's only supposed to last 6 weeks, but they call it after a couple days because it's too much. It's too much torture.
Actually, you aren't in solitary. You're just in a small cell with a window. That's just Jeff. Sorry. Okay.
Question 5. On your category for question 5, sort of a listener submitted question. This one is a question that I had on my Twitter feed, which you guys are followers of. So maybe if you remember this question, you've got a little leg up. On Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw visits the Vogue accessories closet and finds a pair of shoes in patent leather that she calls an urban shoe myth. These closed-toed women's shoes with one or more straps across the instep are called by what girl's name?
We can lock in.
Yeah,
I know it.
I'm pretty sure Matt had those when I stayed over. So they're locked in.
He's more of a pump guy.
I do love Sex and the City. I've seen it all of it a long time ago. I'm pretty sure they're Mary Janes. Does that sound right?
That would make sense.
I think they're
the rest of the
And
clues.
if it was Carrie Bradshaw, they would be Jimmy Choo, but I think they're Mary Janes. Those the locked in answer. So that's what we'll go with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are called Mary Janes.
They are Mary Janes. Good job.
Nice.
Question 6. Your category is hearing voices. What actress, best known for playing Dr. Elliot Reed on Scrubs, can currently be heard as the voice of Beth Smith, the no-nonsense matriarch on Cartoon Network's Rick and Morty?
We're locked in?
What is her name?
She was Becky.
I don't know how Matt's going to get this answer. He's going to need all of Josh's help because Matt has a no Scrubs policy.
I'm pretty sure it's Sarah Chalke or Chalky, Chalke.
That sounds about right. I have no idea. So, Sarah Chalky.
She was also one of my favorite of Ted's ex-girlfriends.
Who broke his heart?
I know. She's a vet too.
Yeah.
Great catch.
Victoria, right? Is that who she played?
No, Victoria was the baker.
that was the cupcake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was Stella Zinman.
Stella.
Who left him at the altar.
Yeah,
Anyways,
right.
we said Sarah Chalke.
Sarah Chalke is correct.
Now you're killing me. Maybe Kylie knows. What was the phrase that Chris Kattan said that Ted never said in the movie version of his life that Stella's husband wrote?
Oh, no.
It was like something do, baby, or
no can-do'sville, baby doll.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
No can do'sville. Yes, thank you. I was gonna kill me the rest of the game.
All right, question 7. Your category is we're talking baseball. During the 2015 World Series, Kansas City Royals shortstop Alcides Escobar put what on his stat sheet, doing something no player had done in the World Series since 1929?
Yeah, I mean, because what would have been 29 would have been like when the Yankees were good, right? Like the Murderers Row era.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how that helps. If that helps.
Yeah, what does that add to the question?
Well, the only thing I can think of is if it was 1929, several of those baseball players were probably intoxicated while playing. So he could have been intoxicated, but that does not go on a score sheet. We're just throwing around terms like maybe he got a double or triple play.
Double or
maybe he caught a line drive, stepped on the bag at 2, and then threw it to 1 and got like a triple play by himself. But that seems
if he threw it to someone, it's not really
right. Wouldn't be unassisted. Right.
Oh, true. So maybe an unassisted double play.
What's up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Could he have switch hit?
Could have been.
Like he batted once lefty and batted once righty, and that he'd be the only person on the score sheet to write that. I don't even know if you put that.
No, I mean that could be.
Okay, let's write that because it seems weird enough. All right, that's what we're gonna lock him with.
I'm pretty sure Jason Hayward was switch hitting in the next World Series that some Chicago team won. But we talked about a lot of things, hitting for the cycle, unassisted triple play, a lot of those kind of things. But Josh brought up stealing home, and I don't remember anything happening like that since then. So we said stealing home.
Unfortunately, no points on this one. Alcides Escobar hit an inside the park home run.
That did come up in our discussion.
I heard it.
That makes me angry, but not in an angry way.
So how does one become angry, but not in an angry way, Neal?
It's like if Bruce Banner gets angry that someone made his coffee wrong, but he doesn't turn into the Hulk, but he's angry Bruce Banner.
Okay, so he's just like normal size, but he's green.
Yeah. Anyway, I think Matt was thinking of Benny the Jet from The Sandlot stealing home.
That's exactly what he was thinking.
For the Dodgers.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, question 8. Your category is What a Coinky Dink. The Billboard Hot 100 year-end chart for 1990 includes 2 different songs with the same title. At number 8 is a song by an R&B quartet that opens with an a cappella snippet of Who's Loving You. And at number 1 is a self-love anthem performed by a trio with famous parental connections. What's the title of those 2 songs?
We're good.
We're locked in.
What year was this?
1990.
So I think it's Wilson Phillips is the trio with famous fathers, and that would be Hold On, which I think is also a Boyz II Men song, maybe? I don't know. But I think it's Hold On. Are we good? Yeah. Locked in.
All right, so they locked in. Yeah, so Wilson Phillips, Hold On. I think the other Hold On was Vogue, I think.
I don't remember that one for sure, but...
En Vogue, thank you. En Vogue. So that's what we went with, was Hold On.
Yep, it was En Vogue and Wilson Phillips with Hold On.
All right.
Someday somebody's gonna pick I always forget the lyrics halfway through, and I go,
turn around and say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to watch Bridesmaids.
That's right. Or Harold and Kumar.
Question 9. Your category is Don't Worry, It's Not That Kind of Calculus. Skipping, brushing, and flossing can lead to dental calculus, a hardened buildup of what substance on the teeth and gums that can lead to health issues like gingivitis?
Oh, I think I got it.
Oh, good.
I think
You can lock in because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Who's the official dentist of Triviality? I forgot who that was.
Taylor.
Bryan Cranston.
Brian, yeah.
Oh.
No, Taylor Cook. So shout out to Taylor Cook, who probably knows this one, and he's operating on a patient right now while listening to the show and is yelling at the patient. But that's not really happening because he would probably lose his license just for listening to our show. So they're locked in.
Yeah, this does not count as continuing education.
Skipping, flossing. I mean, what builds up? Plaque, right? Plaque,
That's what I was thinking.
Is there another word for this stuff? I don't know. It has to be plaque, right?
I would have thought, but I don't know.
There's another word that's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't. It like plaque, but I can't think of it. I'm just thinking of when you take Listerine, it says it
Gingivitis?
Yeah, but she said gingivitis, right? Because that's what it turns into.
Oh.
I think. I don't know. Yeah, let's just go plaque. That's fine. It seems like a red herring, but we're gonna lock in with plaque.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Was plaque.
It is plaque.
Oh, right. Kylie, you're playing so many brain games with me. It is Brainwave Trivia, by the way, but I'm literally like every answer. I'm like, it can't be that, and then it is.
I love putting people through knots.
I know, but I know you're like a Boy Scout of trivia. You know, 100 different knots.
Well, I'm always prepared, and I'm prepared with question 10. Your category is It's Like a Famous Baby. What Australian photographer whose 2021 calendar will be her 30th rocketed to fame after the release of her coffee table book Down in the Garden, which featured babies and toddlers dressed as fairies, flowers, and snails?
Locked in.
Oh, really? All right.
It's that famous photographer who does pictures of kids, and I can't think of her name.
Well, I definitely can tell you I don't follow her on Instagram, so...
Oh, man.
Angela's favorite photographer.
I know, I was just thinking the same thing. It's kitsch and it destroys art.
This is another one. Like I should know it. I've heard it a million times. I can't pull it. You have the calendar on your desk.
What? When did you put it there?
Here's what I want to do. If we can get, I don't know, 1,000 comments in the crop for this episode. I don't know how. because we don't have 1,000 members yet. We should just make our own calendar based off of hers, but do the exact same outfits.
We just I thought you wanted to Photoshop your head onto babies.
No, I want to dress as the babies in the same position.
I will create fake Facebook accounts to add comments to that post to see that happen.
It's just going to be like 3 people commenting on themselves
300
over and over
times,
until you get to
yeah.
1,000.
So look at these grown men dressing up as babies. I don't know. We're going to have to tap. I know what she's talking about. I can't. I don't know the
And
name
I
of
have
it.
no idea.
Okay. We're going to say it's the Gerber Illustrated. I don't know.
Illustrated. We're just trying to name the episode Grown Men Babies.
I think it's Ann Geddes.
Oh.
And the correct answer is Ann Geddes.
All right.
That
And
does
get
not
us some
sound
points.
familiar at all.
This has been a weird day.
I know. This is one of my favorite episodes ever. Thank you, Kylie and Josh. That's it for regulation. The game is still tight, but Robot Head is slightly pulling away. They have 180 points. And over here at Half Grilled Cheese and Hot Dog, we have 165. So we got to put it all on the wagers here. So let's hear those categories, and then we'll figure out our wagers.
All right. Your final round categories are Science Baby, Silver Screen Ginger, Posh Accent, Sporty on Skates, and So Scary I'm Shaking in My Reboots.
Okay, love these. I love these so much.
So if they go 20 on all of them, let's just say they get it all right. That's 100 points?
Yep.
Okay, so it'll be 280.
Last time I checked, yeah.
Me and math do not get along, so math is the Joker to my Batman. What's 2 plus 2? Sorry.
How much do we have?
165.
Let's go 30 all the way down.
Do we have enough?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm telling you, I have no idea.
I mean, you're usually bad at math.
I took 2 minimum math courses so I could take more band and choir and acting.
Yeah. Oh, see, I got waved out of gym, which is the nerd thing to do.
And when I worked at Starbucks, they did the math for me.
That's true.
All the wagers are locked in, so let's go back to Kylie with the questions.
All right. Question 1, category Science Baby. The name for what test performed soon after the birth of a baby to evaluate the infant's basic health indicators is a backronym that fits the 5-letter last name of the doctor who created it in 1952. What's that called? Question 2, category Silver Screen Ginger. Ginger Rogers famously did everything Fred Astaire did, only backwards and in heels. But she also managed something that Astaire never did. She anteed up and won a competitive acting Oscar for her performance in what 1940 film? Number 3, category Posh Accent. Despite being known as the King's English, received pronunciation, or RP, is spoken by only about 3% of the UK's population. RP is a very posh way of speaking, associated with the upper crust of society and what major British organization? Number 4, category Sporty on Skates. The Art Ross Trophy is awarded annually to the NHL player with the most points scored during the regular season. But from 1981 to 2001, only 3 different players took home the hardware. Name those dominating legends. And number 5, category So Scary I'm Shaking in My Reboots. The new Netflix show, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, is a darker, horror-based reboot of the 90s fantasy sitcom show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. But the witch's name stays the same. Based on the Archie Comics character, what is Sabrina's last name?
Okay, we'll take a little bit of time, and we will be right back. All the answers are locked in for the final round, so let's go back to Kylie. She'll read through the question, and we'll give our answers.
All right, question 1. The name for what test performed soon after the birth of a baby to evaluate the infant's basic health indicators is a backronym that fits the 5-letter last name of the doctor who created it in 1952. What's that called?
We wagered 30, or no, we wagered 20 on all of these. And then Josh got this right away. What did you say, Josh?
It's the APGAR test. Both of my children passed them pretty well.
Wow.
I've definitely heard of that.
Have you? I don't know what the APGAR test is.
APGAR?
APGAR.
Oh.
I think it came up a while ago on the show or something, but yeah,
The
we
Reptar
wagered
test.
Yeah,
You're right.
the Reptar test. We wagered 20 on this one, but we couldn't come up with it.
Correction, you said to go all in, so we wagered 30.
Oh, I'm sorry, 30
on all of them.
On all of these.
So yes, we I guess we said Reptar.
Created in 1952 by Virginia Apgar, it is the Apgar score or Apgar test. All right, number 2. Ginger Rogers famously did everything Fred Astaire did, only backwards and in heels, but she also managed something that Astaire never did. She anteed up and won a competitive acting Oscar for her performance in what 1940 film?
We wagered 20 and figured ante up with some kind of poker or casino clue, and we just couldn't get there, so I forget what we said. Casino, movie, royale.
No, we said you bet your life.
Okay, there you
go. So I used most of my brain energy on the Parnassus one, and I used to know this fact really, really well, and I know I'm close. I'm almost positive I got it wrong, but it's Kitty something, and it's kind of an obscure movie. It's Kitty, and I'm my own worst enemy on this show. As anyone who listens knows, I kept talking about Adam Sandler, and all I could think of was O'Doyle Rules, and so I said Kitty Doyle. Because it sounds right. So I said Kitty Doyle.
Very close. It is Kitty Foyle.
Oh, my God.
Foyle.
Wow.
Number 3, despite being known as the King's English, received pronunciation, or RP, is spoken by only about 3% of the UK's population. RP is a very posh way of speaking associated with the upper crust of society and what major British organization?
We wagered 20, and Josh, what do we have here?
The BBC.
Yep, we wagered 30 on this one, and we thought who else might have a kind of a pronunciation guide or requirement? We thought the BBC.
That's correct. It is the BBC. Number 4, the Art Ross Trophy is awarded annually to the NHL player with the most points scored during the regular season. From 1981 to 2001, only 3 different players took home the hardware. Name those 3 dominating legends.
We wagered 20 here. Very quickly came to Gretzky and Lemieux. And then we're struggling with the third one, but then we thought maybe it was when Lemieux retired briefly that Jágr, his teammate, took his place. So we said Jaromir Jágr is the third.
We wagered 30 on this one. Also came to Lemieux and Gretzky quite quickly. And the only other name we could pull was Jaromir Jágr.
Points to both teams. It's Gretzky, Lemieux, and Jágr.
Jágr, who is still playing as of last year, I think.
Yeah, isn't
he in the Czech leagues or something now?
maybe?
I think, yeah, he might still be playing. He's going to play until he's 70. It's amazing.
All right, number 5, the new Netflix show The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a darker horror-based reboot of the 90s fantasy sitcom show Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but the witch's name is the same. Based on the Archie Comics character, what is Sabrina's last name?
Yeah, I haven't watched the new one yet. We wagered 20 on this. I was a big fan of the Melissa Joan Hart in the 90s as a teenage boy. So I said Sabrina Spellman.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, we wagered 30. We could not think of it. And so we said that her true last name is the Teenage Witch.
Points to Robot Head. It is Spellman. Archie Comics loves those alliterative names.
Yep, that's so obvious now.
It is obvious. So at the end of regulation, at the end of the final round, it looks like Team Half Grilled Cheese Hot Dog have 135. So what about you guys over at Robot Head?
We added 60 points to come to 240.
Ooh, so 240. That means today, Josh and Matt of Team Robot Head are the cream of the crop.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Oh, good game.
Well done.
For sure.
So
Matt pulled a lot of them out too.
I think a lot of our we were very complimentary. Where the stuff where I had no idea, you got right away, and the stuff where you're like, I don't know, I somehow had. So that worked out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Josh, thank you very much for joining us today and for partnering with Matt. It's always great to have you on the show and to give a shout out to Henry. But thank you very much for your support on Patreon. As our new Universal Champion, you'll be getting your special Triviality box in the mail very, very soon. But any last words for us today?
No. Just maybe say hello to my teammates, the Hobo Goat family.
Well, thank you for joining us, Josh, and for supporting the show. And a very, very big thank you to Kylie Digges for putting together this awesome game from Brainwave Trivia. Anything you can tell us about where people can find you and Brainwave Trivia, and also the name of your book, where they can buy that to bone up on their friends' trivia?
Yeah, absolutely. I am. You can find me on brainwavetrivia.com. You can download a free quiz there if you want to test it out with your friends or in one of the venues where you play. I've also got a trivia blog there, so fun extra bonus content. You can find my trivia books on Amazon. Just search my name, Kylie Digges. I've got a friend's book called Could There Be Any More Trivia? And I also have a Sex and the City book called Abso Quiz-and-Lutely. And I'm going to have a 90s movie book up there very soon. I'm working on that right now. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I do daily questions and games, and all of those are at Brainwave Trivia.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We're excited to check out those books, and we're here if you'd like any co-authors. Wink, wink. But thank you very much for joining us. The questions were all across the board. They were great, a lot of fun. And as you said, you like to put us all in knots, so we appreciate that. Ken wasn't here. Hopefully the bean is polished, even though it's probably going to snow soon. It's not even going to matter anymore. What's it all for? But Matt, any last words from you from LA?
No, everything's great.
All right. That's what we like to hear.
Life is wonderful.
Life is wonderful. Well, thank you very much to Josh, to Kylie, to Matt, Jeff, and Ken. My name is Neal, and that was Triviality. Yeah, so before I went to Iowa, actually, I went to a school in Louisiana, and I don't remember too much about it other than there was a class that we were in, and this one student was kind of unruly and wasn't listening to the teacher, and the teacher was talking about some sort of like brain function, like the medulla oblongata, and the student tackled him.
No, stop.
Sorry, I tried to keep it as straight as I could.